All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome back to another week of Just a Fan Podcast. Hey, so it's a wild week 7. We're going to discuss this, and we also got panels picks, but let's introduce ourselves. I'm Coach Williams, the Wildcat quarterback that runs this whole thing, the football mind. You see it right there. Hold on. Yeah, boom, right there. That direction, panel 316. And he has something to say underneath his panel 316 title. Tell him what it says, man.
Dumb people make my head hurt.
Dumb people make his head hurt.
Like, and I mean, everything from the average fan all the way up to people on TV. And I know you got to get ratings. I get it. You got to say inflammatory things that sometimes are just way off base and just completely just stupid. I'm going to just call it what it is. It's stupid because you're not basing it in facts. But stupid people make my head hurt. That's just it. And I need some Tylenol right now for the dumb things that have been said over the last probably 24 to 48 hours. What's up, Christian?
What's up? All right. So, man, like I said, it was a wild week 7. And first of all, I'd like to congratulate this football player who set the record for the most sacks before the age of 28 years old. He has 82 sacks. His name is Myles Garrett.
That's a grown man.
That's a grown man. And he broke that record that Reggie White had of 80 sacks. So, also this past Sunday, it was a very interesting game between the Cleveland Browns and Indianapolis Colts because Myles Garrett, as you can see in the title, went miles and miles to a victory. He pretty much carried that team.
He put the team on his back.
He put his team on the back.
He did.
Deshaun Watson got hurt. Clear concussion protocol. PJ Walker came in as a quarterback, but man, Myles Garrett said, I'm gonna block a field goal today. I'm gonna get a couple fumble recoveries and return one for a touchdown. I'm gonna be a huge reason why we are successful and victorious. And he did that. He put that team on the back. What do you think, man, about Myles Garrett taking his team miles and miles to a victory?
Well, just to put it just plainly, we talk about the usual suspects when it comes to Defensive Player of the Year. And just being frank, Myles Garrett's the front runner. If anybody has anybody else in mind for Defensive Player of the Year, you have not been watching Myles Garrett play this season. He is wreaking just unadulterated havoc. And this game against the Colts this past week is a prime example. It's a microcosm of how he's been playing these last 7 weeks. And he literally put the team on his back. Because Gardner Minshew, they put up 38 points on that defense, which is impressive, considering how good that defense is. But I mean, he's blocking field goals. He's creating pressure. He's doing He's getting sacks. He's been playing lights out, and the offense really was not giving him much to work with at all. So he's been a problem in every game he's been in this year.
Yes.
Even in the games that he didn't win, he was still like, I'm still here. I'm just, and that's what we talk about. Big time players make big time plays in big time games.
Yes.
Even in a loss, Myles Garrett's a whole fool. Like if you play fantasy football where you use defensive players in your league and you don't have Myles Garrett, whoever has him is getting a lot of points.
Yes, they are.
So, because I'm in 3 leagues, all 3 of my leagues we play defense players too, and I got Myles Garrett on 2 of my team, 2 of my leagues.
Well, you smart.
He's been he's been extremely profitable. Yes. So yeah, Myles Garrett. That whole Cleveland situation though, going to the other side of the ball, Deshaun Watson, who Cleveland really wishes they had that he. This Cleveland Deshaun Watson is not what's up. Whether it's his play or whether his durability, it's either one of those things. He is not really getting it going. They can't ride with PJ Walker all year long.
Well, hold on. Let me get back to Myles Garrett real quick, though. I just want to say, ever since Jim Schwartz took over that defense this year, and it was this year, like he has a whole defense playing legitimate football. He knows how to get pressure with 4, and he has the corners to run man coverage. He has linebackers that can blitz, and Jeremiah Owusu Koromora, and there's another linebacker on the team. And that's a very, very good defense that Schwartz inherited. But he just took that defense from like what, average to above average up to like just fantastic, man.
I'm glad you brought that up. We're gonna cover that later, talking about coordinators who have inherited defenses and what they've done with the defenses they've inherited. We're gonna get to that later, but I'm glad you brought that up, how Jim Schwartz took this defense from average to like superlative.
Yeah, I mean, he has. He really, really has. And Jim Schwartz, Jim Schwartz is just another one of those defensive coordinators, one of those coaches that just knows defense inside out. And I don't know if he's. Let me see if he's been a head coach. But if he hasn't been a head coach, I mean, maybe you can kind of consider him, or maybe he's
been a head coach. He was a head coach in Detroit for a while.
That's right, and it wasn't successful. But
you don't remember the Jim Harbaugh handshake?
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it wasn't successful, but the man knows defense, and he can run a defense. So if he's ever available again to be a defensive coordinator, and you need one, that's one of those name of numbers. Then he'd be high up there.
I would take Jim Schwartz over Steve Wilkes any day. I'm gonna get on him in a minute.
Eric will get into that much later, but yeah, if Schwartz is ever available for defensive coordinator, you need one. He needs to be one of those first phone calls you ring and say, "Look, I need you in for an interview." So, but also to Eric's point, let's switch over to the Browns offense, and I'm gonna also attack something too that I saw on Twitter that's been going on since one player played for the Raiders and Cowboys as well. But Deshaun Watson, quarterback, like you said, whether it's his play or him being available, it's not working out. And
they paying him a lot of money.
And we mentioned a couple times on the show, these next 3 years, the cap charge is $60 million, $60 million, and $60 million. You can't flat out cut him. I mean, unless there's something I'm missing in his contract. And if I am, please, let me know. But
if painting yourself into a corner was a contract,
man, let me tell you something. That contract ain't looking good at all. And I just don't see how in the world.
63.9 in 2024.
63.9 in 2024.
25 and 26.
Yeah, so yeah, all this stuff is just guaranteed. That's why I forgot. There's no. Hold on. Let's see. This language exists that will not forfeit signing bonus or void future guarantees upon suspension. So yeah, so it doesn't like his signing bonus or guarantees can be voided upon so even so if this man, let's say this man gets suspended for, let's say Deshaun Watson does something crazy, he gets suspended or kicked out the league for the rest of his career, they still have to pay him all that money.
If
So
if painting yourself into a corner was a contract,
and this is why. This is one of the reasons why I know players talking about some. I want fully guaranteed contracts. Look, between Kirk Cousins and Deshaun Watson, two examples of why leagues are not owners are not giving out these fully guaranteed contracts. Tom Brady didn't get one. Peyton Manning didn't get one. You think you gonna get one? Nah, nah. So all that guaranteed money, I don't. We may not see that for a long time. We may not see that for a long time. Again, um, but Deshaun Watson is not who you think he was going to be at quarterback. I don't know what happened to him. I just don't know what happened to him. It's like he forgot how to play football. And and then Amari Cooper is still Amari Coopering.
you see some
What do I mean? Amari Cooper is a very good wide receiver as long as a home game. He was like that in with the Raiders. He was like that with Dallas, and he's still doing the same thing in Cleveland. When he's on the road, it is like night and day. The man's production cuts down in half, according to what I saw on Twitter. I don't know if I still got that article, and I probably don't, and it's all good. If I don't, I'm not gonna worry about it. No, I don't see it, so it's cool. But no, his production, I saw on Twitter that his production cuts down in half. It literally cuts down. And there was a Cowboys beat writer that wrote about it a few years ago named Katie Drummond. He mentioned that Amari Cooper's numbers go down when he's on the road versus at home. So Cleveland's offense not getting the job done. Miles Garrett, carrying that team to victory this past Sunday. Defense is better, but there's no offense to help it out. Yeah, they
and
four. Yeah, they 4-2, and they're in first place in that division, but they're not gonna be able to hold on that much longer with
I was
that.
just about to say that because I say it's not sustainable. That
It's not.
defense
No,
can't. That defense can't do that every week. They have
no.
got to. They have got to generate some consistency on offense
Yes.
to go with that really good defense. Because honestly, what they are right now is they're the 2019 49ers. That's who they
Okay.
are. Running game, defense, and average to below average quarterback play.
Well, let me ask you a question real quick. How good is really the run game? I mean, I know Kareem Hunt is there, but like Nick Chubb is done for the season. Has Kareem Hunt been productive?
He's been doing well. I mean, he gave him go ahead touchdown in that game against the Colts.
Right.
He's still very productive. They have the other back Ford,
Yeah.
who's solid. So they're doing the committee thing, and I think that's a good thing. That works for them. That running back by committee instead of putting everything on Nick Chubb's back. That might be a blessing in disguise, actually, when you think about it. But
Well, remember this is Chubb's second time turning up his knee. So
hey man, you don't have to tell me like really and not getting off on a tangent here, but Nick Chubb, his career might be over considering the position that he plays and his injury history, and knowing how they do running backs in this league. The value of running backs is already through the floor.
right.
Okay, and now you're talking about a running back. He's not quite 30 yet, if I don't believe, but he's had this injury history, and it's like, hey man, we don't know. So I really feel for him.
Nah, I
Kind
get it.
of, not getting off because we kind of getting off the rails here. But you talking about Nick Chubb, we were talking about Cleveland, so you got to talk about Nick Chubb. Their running game is still going to be successful without Nick Chubb, but they have to have not great, just adequate quarterback play.
Yeah, and
PJ
see that.
Walker is a very good backup, but he's not. He's not the long term solution for this
No, of course
season. They
not. No,
want
of
to
course not.
threaten. They want to threaten to win this division because, like, when Cleveland has to play the Ravens, which we're gonna get to in a second, they're gonna have some problems. Even
Yeah,
with
they are.
as good as that defense is, they're going to have some problems if they can't go tit for tat with this new and improved Ravens offense. So,
Yeah,
hey,
because and I looked at Nick Chubb's contract. They can get out of that contract after the season and take a $4 million hit. That offense is going to go through some major changes. I know you can't do much if anything at quarterback, except for just find somebody else to have them ride the pines. Running back situation is in flux. Wide receiver position is in flux. I mean, they have a good offensive line, but the offensive line's gonna only be intact for so long. You know what I'm saying? And Stefanski runs a Shanahan-based system, but system ain't no good without the proper quarterback, the proper running back or group of running backs, and who's the quarterback throwing the ball to? Because Cooper's not consistent. Amari Cooper's not
no,
consistent. So what kind of offense is it? It's just there.
yeah, I believe that they have enough. I'm not. I don't go. I'm not all the way in with you when you're saying that the receiver situation is not great. I think they have enough at receiver to
Mm.
to be good. I think they have enough at tight. David Njoku's doing enough, but again, you got to have someone who can deliver the ball on a consistent. Hey, Sam, what's up? On a consistent basis with um with these receivers. Consistent. That's the word. Doesn't have to be great. Just needs to be consistent.
No,
Because they have
I understand doesn't need to be great, but is PJ Walker going to be that consistent quarterback?
no, absolutely not.
Okay, but again, if Amari Cooper is your anchor wide receiver, and he's not an anchor wide receiver week in week out because he's great at home, but on the road he's suspect. So come on, no, I think that's why I said I think the offense outside of Njoku, and I mean overall, and outside of Njoku and the offensive line is in flux. And Njoku's just only getting older because Njoku been in the league for a while. He's about 28, 29. I'm assuming he got to be about 20, 29 years old by now.
Yeah,
And so you're only going to get a couple more years out of him. That offense is there's nothing long term regarding the offense
except
today.
the quarterback. That contract you can't get out of.
That's sad, man. That's sad. That is sad.
You like him, love him or hate him. You stuck with Deshaun Watson because you went all in. You gave yourself no parachute to get out of this contract just in case
Ooh.
Deshaun Watson was not going to be Houston Deshaun Watson, in which right now he's showing us he's not Houston Deshaun Watson. Now,
And
he's still a young man, so could he get it together? Possibly. It's not out of the realm. He's only 20, 28. You know, could he get it together? Possibly.
yeah, but right now he's playing like he should have retired yesterday.
Yeah. To be fair, yeah. And that's what it's about. It's about looking at it fairly. That's what my caption should have been under my name. It should be facts over feelings, because a lot of fans, because let's be honest, fan is short for fanatic. And a lot of fans are just, they jump off the deep end one way or the other when it comes to any topic that that's discussed that's in football right now. It's like that's a major problem with us as a society. Honestly, it's a societal problem. Either you the goat or you trash. And no, there's levels between that, So, but to be fair, Deshaun Watson is not. He's definitely right now. He's not Houston Deshaun Watson,
No,
and
he's
he
not.
was
Not at all.
Houston Deshaun
Far
Watson.
from it. Far from it.
Yeah,
Far from
Houston
it.
Deshaun Watson was fantastic. He just had a horrible coach.
Yes.
You know, uh, they paid for Houston Deshaun Watson, and they get in Cleveland Deshaun Watson,
Yes.
and that's not good. So, yeah. But moving on, since we want to stay in the NFC North. Excuse me,
North.
AFC North.
Man. Hey, look. So in our football group, we have discussed this whole Lamar Jackson thing with,
And we discussed it
um,
here.
and we discussed it on here as well,
Mhm.
regarding offensive coordinator changes. Okay, Lamar Jackson's first offensive coordinator is I'm about to say Derek. Eric's favorite offensive coordinator of all time, Greg Roman. Okay, matter of fact, he even openly admits that he wants Greg Roman back in San Francisco. Okay,
No, I don't.
yes, he does.
No, I don't.
Don't let him tell you that.
That's
Okay.
a lie. That's a line. That's not even a line and a half. That's a line 3/4.
Anyway, Greg Roman was first offensive coordinator, and Greg Roman knew what to do as far as, like, hey, I'm gonna use his skill set. We're gonna run some option stuff. Even in between Lamar Jackson's first and second season, he went, I think, either to Georgia Tech or Navy to learn some more of the option stuff they love to run. And he did the second year, and Lamar Jackson MVP and who, how, whatever, and that's fine. But in the last couple of years, Lamar Jackson has not been able to stay healthy. Okay, Lamar Jackson's contract runs out. He's a he's going to be a free agent, but then the Ravens put a franchise tag on him, and any team that felt like you felt like they needed a quarterback said no to Lamar Jackson. Okay, they said no to Lamar Jackson. So, Lamar Jackson can finally get a new contract extension in Baltimore, stays in Baltimore, and they fire Greg Roman. They bring in a new offensive coordinator, Todd Monken from Georgia, and Monken has ideas to keep Lamar Jackson healthy. And what he did was he took out a lot of those quarterback power plays and said, "Look, we're gonna make you more of a pocket passing quarterback who can improve his accuracy." And if you watch the game this past Sunday with Baltimore versus Detroit, and they annihilated Detroit, you can see that when he dropped back, even when the pocket got a little muddy, he still kept his eyes downfield and he just moved around within the pocket and was able to throw passes. He didn't take off and run. Lamar Jackson in his first 5 years in his career, he'd have been took off after one or two reads. But Lamar Jackson just open completion, first down, completion, second and one, and it's like that's going to be a problem. And there was even one time where, because he was moving so well within the pocket, he had 9.8 seconds until he got rid of the football. And Aiden Hutchinson is a fantastic defensive end already in his young career. I don't care how good you are as a player or how great your defense is. If you're trying to get to a quarterback and it's taking you long, if it's first of all, you have 3 to 4 seconds to get to the quarterback. 5 seconds is not good at all. But 10 seconds, that's terrible. And that's going to tire you out. And they keep getting first downs, and your offense going 3 and out, you're going to struggle. Lamar Jackson, the only time he's running is when play breaks down, he just scrambles. But other than that, that's a
As I say,
threat.
he still has that in his toolbox. That's
Right, exactly. And that's scary.
But it's not his main go-to.
Right. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. And that's scary because, like I said, you get a mobile quarterback who's become a better pocket passer. And, Carolina should have did this with Cam Newton. If I'm the Indianapolis coach, you need to be taking notes with Anthony Richardson. Make this guy a mobile quarterback into a pocket passer and work on his accuracy. You get more years out of him. What do you think, E?
Look at this stat line. I mean, you're talking about 21 for 27.
Yes.
77. Let's go 77 points. Let's round up. Say 78% completion percentage.
Right.
357 yards. 3 passing touchdowns.
Yes.
And just in case you forgot who Lamar Jackson is, 9 carries for 36 yards and a touchdown. Now he had the fumble, okay, but I mean, you're basically, hey Titus, basically what you're doing right now is you're maximizing what Lamar Jackson can give you. Where Greg Roman only saw him as a read option quarterback, and it's like, no, he can chunk the ball. And now you're seeing what a difference an offensive coordinator makes when you have a player that electric and you're only using one facet of his skill set. You holding the team back. And thank God Greg Roman is gone. I'm pretty sure there's some Ravens fans, the sensible ones anyway, that are like, yeah, I'm glad he's gone. Because let's go ahead and put it out here. Talking about the game itself, the Ravens versus the Detroit Lions. Hell, I picked the Detroit Lions. I had a horrible week, by the way, for my picks. It was the worst since I've been on the show. But I had the Detroit Lions winning that game. And the offensive coordinator, Lamar Jackson, said, no, let us show you what we got here. If you would have told me that the Lions were going to lose, I say, okay, I can see that. But if you'd have told me the Lions were going to lose the way they did, the way Lamar Jackson went off, I'd have been like, nah, man, you crazy.
It will make you want to bet money against it.
Yeah.
Because you're not expecting Lamar Jackson to be 21, 27, 78% completion percentage, 357 yards, 3 touchdowns passing.
Yeah, that was next level. That was next level. And if he continues this trajectory, then I'm going to have to just back up off my words. I kept saying there's a power shift in the AFC North. And if they can continue this trend with Lamar Jackson playing at this level, because he did it against a good team. Let's go ahead and put that out there, because there are a lot of different media outlets that had Detroit Lions as the best team in the NFC. Not the Eagles, not the Niners, but the Detroit Lions. And I'm still high on the Detroit Lions.
Of course, and I am too. I mean, you and I, we talked about it last week, just recently.
Yeah,
we
I'm
pat
still
ourselves
very
on
high
top
on
about
the
Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I'm still very high on the Detroit Lions. I still feel like they gonna probably be one of the top 4 seeds in the playoffs, but in the conference. But bro, he did this against a quality team. He didn't go out there and do this against Boo Boo the Fool and them.
Right, there's not to do with Broncos.
Yeah, he went out there and he played. He put up these numbers against a quality team.
Yes.
So, that's something to look at. And like we've been saying, and we always say, what a difference coaching makes. What a difference coaching makes. It changed everything. And then people was calling me crazy. I said, Greg Roman need to get the hell out of Baltimore. He's holding Lamar Jackson back.
Jamal.
Yeah. No, it ain't Greg Roman. Greg Roman's gone.
Greg Roman's putting up 28 points per game.
Greg Roman did. Okay, now they putting up 30-something a game.
Guess what? But you know what? It was more like you and I said in the green room. It ran deeper than just points per game.
This is the explosiveness of the offense now. Because let's be real, when Greg Roman was the coach, the explosiveness of the offense ran just specifically through Lamar Jackson. Now you're able to utilize your other weapons. Your other weapons are starting to become way, 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 way more efficient.
Hold on. I'm gonna change that up a little bit. The offense ran through Lamar Jackson's legs. Now it's running through his arm.
Okay. That's a fair thing.
It's still running through Lamar Jackson, but now instead of legs, where he can get where his career might be shorter, Andrew Luck, is running through his arm now, and that's scary because you got a quarterback that's a 4-3, 4-4 quarterback who, like I said, is getting better with his accuracy and decision making at throwing the ball to wide receivers.
Yep.
And because he's able to bounce around in the pocket for 10 seconds, that's going to wear down the defense. I don't care who you are. I don't care how great your defense is or how great the player is himself. That's not good. So,
yeah. So moving on.
Dolphins staying in the AFC.
The Dolphins really wow.
Are they gonna sink or are they gonna swim?
I mean, if you just want to put it cut and dry, black or white, I still got them swimming. Dolphins still swim.
Okay.
Um, let's first of all, like I said, we're gonna look at both facets of it, okay?
Mhm.
Because again, facts over feelings, which is what a lot of fans don't do. They go with their feelings, not their facts. First thing on this side of it, the Dolphins lost to a quality opponent in the Philadelphia Eagles, who at this point is, in my opinion, the best team in the NFC right now.
Okay.
Uh, the Eagles kind of pulled away toward the end, but they kind of went what and what with the Eagles for a little while, but the Eagles just are a better team. So I'm not ready to be the Dolphins are frauds, but da 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 da. What up, Kiaro? And my crab brother from GSU. Um, I'm not ready to say all the Dolphins are frauds, this, that, and the third. I'm not ready to say that, just me personally. But I'm not going to sit up here and ignore the fact, and this is an interesting stat, that the Dolphins, the teams, if you combine the records of the teams that the Dolphins beat, they have a losing record.
Yes, they do.
They've beaten like bad teams.
Eh,
They run roughshod over some bad teams.
Broncos.
But again, to be fair, that's what you're supposed to do when you play bad teams. They don't get to pick their schedule. So if they play bad teams and they run roughshod over bad teams, that's what you're supposed to do. It's like you want to talk about college football. Okay, you didn't rank us in the top 5 in the AP poll, and you got us playing East Bumblefart State somewhere, and we beat them 72-0. That's what you're supposed to do. You know? So there's got to be a level of fairness with this. They still have an extremely fast offense.
Track and field.
The defense is still, I know, that's what we call the Dolphins, a track and field. South Beach track and field. The defense is starting to come along a little bit. It's getting a little bit better under Vic Fangio. It takes a minute. It definitely takes a minute to change. There's going to be a drop off when you change coordinators, which I'm going to get to in a minute because I'm on your ass, Steve Wilkes. Give me a second when we finish this topic. But there's a drop off when you have a change in coordinator, so they're still kind of getting used to Fangio's scheme. You still got some guys who are out because Eli Apple's still on the field. That's a problem.
Eli
Eli Apple's still on the field.
Eventually,
when guys get healthy, Eli Apple can come off the field. You have you better do more. But again, this is the Eagles we're talking about, and I'm gonna say this: AJ Brown is everything DK Metcalf was supposed to be. Okay, so yeah, I said it, but that I'm not finna be down on the Dolphins because they lost to the Eagles. Because again, the Eagles are the best team in the NFC and arguably one of the top 3 teams in the entire league. And I still feel like the Dolphins are gonna win that division. I mean, there's some crazy stuff that happened this week. Like the we'll talk about the Pats beating the Bills and everything. The Bills are not billing every week. The Patriots ain't patrioting. The Jets still have Zach Wilson at quarterback, even though they had a really good defense. So I still like Miami to win that division. Are there going to be bumps in the road? Absolutely. Nobody's going undefeated. I don't think anybody is going to go 15-2. I don't think anybody. Hell, I don't even think anybody's going to go 14-3. Honestly, I don't see that. There's a lot of football left to be played.
Oh, definitely. Depending on your team, it's either 10 or 11 games left. People
are overreacting on a lot of stuff based on what they're seeing in these first 7 weeks. There's a lot of football still left to be played.
No one's look. I've said it one time. I've said it a couple times on the show. I don't think you really know who these teams are until after Thanksgiving. So like week 13, week 14, that's when you're really gonna have an idea of these teams.
And we still got the trade deadline coming up. So
that's next Tuesday. By the way,
we still got a week from today. We still got a whole week.
By the way, I did a TikTok video on the trade deadline. Check it out. Check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Like, comment. But yeah, so there's that part that you have to really look at. So, but the Philadelphia Eagles, they do a lot of stuff. There are times when they are absolutely ugly. They win in ugly ways. Sometimes they look fantastic. But the fact still remains that they still winning. That's the thing.
Now I will say this real quick regarding the Dolphins. Depending on your defense and how good they are, if you have a legitimate front four and you can put some extra resources into coverage, you're gonna give the Dolphins some fits. Because Buffalo has a good defensive line, Philadelphia has a good defensive line. That front four is getting pressured by themselves. They put extra resources +2 in the coverage, and that gives Dolphins some fits. So there's a formula to beat them, but you need to have that. You need to have the horses to make that formula work.
And you gotta have a good enough coordinator. We'll get into it in a minute, because because we ain't finna leave that alone. But Tua Tagovailoa is still, in my opinion, an MVP candidate.
Yeah, of course.
This is a bump in the road. I don't see them losing by this much anymore. I didn't say not losing, just by this much. So they're still my dark horse in the AFC. The Chiefs still aren't chiefing on the level that they need to chief.
No, they really not. They really are not. And I don't know what's going on with them. It's probably a mix of things with the Chiefs, because none of the receivers has really done much of anything. Tyreek Hill's been gone now 2 years, but I mean, at least Juju Smith was doing a decent enough job last year. You know what I'm saying? Like,
now the addition of Miko Hardman does help. He's probably the most reliable receiver they have, that Pat Mahomes has now outside of Travis Swift. I didn't say that. And side note, people that's watching at home, we don't care about Taylor Swift. Football purists do not care.
Thank you. Tell them again.
If I swear I want to punch a hole in my TV every time Travis Kelce makes a catch, they got to show Taylor Swift. Hell, sometimes Travis Kelce don't even make the play. It's another Chief player, and they got to show Taylor Swift in the press box. We don't care. Football purists do not care. More than likely, if you're watching this podcast right now or you're listening to this podcast, I'm pretty sure you don't care about seeing Taylor Swift at a Chiefs game. I'm pretty sure. Brandon, do you care?
Man,
I know I don't.
No,
I don't. Now, if Taylor Swift up there doing one of these, they got a headset on, calling plays. Then, okay, what is Taylor Swift going to call next? Okay, now we can talk about it.
Yes.
We can talk about it now, but nobody cares about I don't even know what her football acumen is. I'm not going to even assume, but we don't care. All them other players got girlfriends too. They be in the luxury boxes. Show them if you're going to do that. We don't care about Taylor Swift. Okay? We don't. Football purists don't care.
Nope.
We don't care.
Nope.
All right. So I got off on a tangent there. But because we were talking about the Dolphins, but the Dolphins are right up there right now. If you ask me, my top 3 teams in the AFC in no particular order is Chiefs and Dolphins and Ravens right now.
You said Chiefs, Dolphins, Ravens?
In that tier. We want to just say a tier. They're in that tier for me. Chiefs,
Okay.
Dolphins, and Ravens.
Okay. I'm not mad at you.
Yeah. But and on any given Sunday, one could beat the other. I feel like the Dolphins could be good enough to beat the Chiefs. But if the Chiefs beat them, it wouldn't shock me. I feel like the Ravens could beat the Dolphins and vice versa. It wouldn't shock me. They're in that upper tier of the AFC right now. So those are if you ask me, my top tier of the AFC, Chiefs, Ravens, Dolphins. Now, Dolphins took a step back, and the Chiefs are winning, but they're not winning like they used to.
Nah, not at all.
The way they used to. When I say they're not winning like they used to, I mean they're losing games. I mean they're not winning the way they used to. They're not like we the Chiefs. get down or you lay down. When you lay down, you stay down. It ain't like that no more. It's like
No, no, it's
they
not.
got to fight every week. So, all my
Let me
life
ask you
I
another
had to
question too,
fight.
real quick. Let me ask you another question, real quick, about the Chiefs. I know he's not having success in Washington, but I think a lot of that is because of his offensive line and the quarterback just holding the ball too long.
Eric Bieniemy.
Is Eric Bieniemy that much of a big loss in Kansas City,
You know what?
or is it Matt Nagy as offensive coordinator?
In my opinion, the jury is still out on that. I'm not finna give a ruling on that. If I'm the judge and I got the gavel, I'm not finna give a ruling on that just yet.
No, 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 no. Of course, I'm not saying that's 100% the reason because we just went over the wide receivers position, but
mhm.
it's just something else I had to throw out there because
I
I'm
mean,
like,
if you really want to be fair, Eric Bieniemy has better wide receivers in Washington than Andy Reid has in Kansas City at this point.
yeah, he does. But like I said, the offensive line is in shambles, and we've
Yes,
discussed this. Sam Howell is on pace to get sacked 96 or 97 times. So
he's gonna make David Carr's year where he broke the record getting sacked look like nothing.
exactly,
Now, part of that,
absolutely
now
nothing.
to be fair, because again, let's be fair. Let's be fair. Sam Howell hold the ball too long.
You said
Let's
what?
put it out there. The offensive line is not good. You are right, Brandon. You are absolutely right. But Sam Howell holds the ball
No,
way
and I said that his offensive line is terrible, but he also holds the ball too long.
way too long.
And I get it that he's a young quarterback, and he's basically still a rookie, but you're not showing good. You're not showing anybody that your chances of being a quarterback that's going to improve. You're not showing anybody anything. You're just showing everybody that, hey, we're gonna move on. We're gonna have a starter here next year, and we're probably going to draft another quarterback.
Well, this the year to do it. We're gonna cover that more on our draft show. But this is
This is
interesting.
definitely the year to do it.
This is a quarterback rich draft coming this year.
Yes,
So
it is.
you're gonna make a change and you can get out of contracts. I'm looking at you, New York Giants and Cleveland Browns. If you can get out of contracts, hey,
Raiders.
Raiders. Moving on. Oh, the Raiders did their contract better with Jimmy G. They can get out of that
Yes,
one.
it did, but they
They
still
can
need to
get out
get
of
out.
that.
They still need to get out of it though. I don't care what
They
anybody
can
says.
still get out of that one. Yo. But moving on.
All right, so dun dun dun. Eric, your 49ers lost to the Minnesota Vikings last night.
Mm-hmm.
Kirk Cousins had a field day last night.
Mm-hmm.
You are blaming Steve Wilks, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Is your defense fool's gold or what? What is going
No,
on?
no, Steve Wilks is.
Oh, Steve Wilks is fool's gold. Okay, well then let's.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna give you a scenario.
Okay.
You have been voluntold by your mom, your mom, whoever, that you gonna cook Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay.
Okay. And you go over to your mom's house, you go to the deep freeze, everything you need in there, all the ingredients are in there. You go to the pantry, all the ingredients are in there that you need. You go to the file cabinet and you got your grandmother's recipe from both sides of the family and your mom's recipes for everything you need to cook for Thanksgiving dinner. Hell, you even go to the grocery store and get extra to make the meal even bigger. And your simple ass burn the meal. Exhibit A, Steve Wilks. So my point I'm getting to is right now I'm pissed off. This is what dumb people make my head hurt because everybody talking about, oh, Brock Purdy this and Brock Purdy is trash and he got exposed. First of all, pump your brakes on that, okay? Because you sound stupid. Because before this game, Brock Purdy was killing it, okay? He didn't lose this game. Did he contribute to the loss? Absolutely, because again, we being fair. He shouldn't have floated those two interceptions out there. Absolutely. But if you gonna sit your simple ass there, I'm sorry, if you gonna sit there and act like Brock Purdy lost this game by himself, that denotes a lack of football IQ, and you don't know football. And you one of the reasons why my head hurt, because the cognitive dissonance is staggering. Okay, because you are neglecting to look at the fact that the 49ers defense, which Steve Wilks inherited a top 3 defense. You have all pros at every level of the defense. That's the same roster from last year. You know what the only difference was, Brandon?
What's the only difference,
the
Eric?
nickelback. He's in Houston now. That's the only difference. I'm using the equivalent of going to the store and getting some more ingredients. They went out and got Javon Hargrave to add him to the defensive line. So you got all the ingredients, Steve Wilks. Robert Saleh had it, top 3 defense. D'Amico Ryans has it, top 3 defense. Steve Wilks gets it, gives up 450 yards to the 2-4 Minnesota Vikings.
Without Justin Jefferson at wide receiver.
Without Justin Jefferson. You made Jordan Addison look like he was God. Okay? Rookie wide receiver goes out there and catches for what, $150, I believe?
Something like that.
Because Steve Wilks refused to make any adjustments.
And we're talking about Kirk Cousins at quarterback.
And blitz and blitz and blitz some more, which I don't have a problem with blitzing. But you know what the problem is? If you blitz and you're not getting home, you know what happens to your defensive backs and your guys in coverage? They got to cover longer. And I don't care who you are. I can beat every last one of them guys if they got to cover me for 6 seconds.
Hey, or longer. Especially
no adjustments in the game.
Especially if you're a corner and you got carry a wide receiver across the field. You know how difficult that is?
Yes, sir.
No one
Kirk Cousins was 9 for 12 on 3rd down. Defense could not get off the field.
75%.
Okay. The Vikings got points on every possession except for their first one and their last one. There was an interception on the first one. They missed a field goal on the last one. And guess what? They were in field goal range, so the defense didn't do well there either. You didn't have a Deebo Samuel. You didn't have a Trent Williams. Games like that, the defense has to step up to help your young quarterback, because I've said it before and I'll say it again. Until you play 16 games in this league, you are still a what quarterback, Brandon?
Rookie.
You still a rookie. Brock Purdy's still a rookie. He's playing really well, but he's still a rookie. You got to help your young quarterback. You did nothing, Steve Wilks, and you have no excuse for it, Steve Wilks. That the touchdown they gave up with seconds left in the first half was the determining factor of that game. They lost by 5. If you don't give up that touchdown, the Niners probably win that game. They win that game. Why would you blitz and play man coverage when you see them trying to score before the half? Now, should Charvarius Ward have intercepted that ball? Absolutely, because it was underthrown. Kirk Cousins is known for throwing you 2 or 3. But they should have never been in that position. You sit back and you keep everything in front of you because they trying to score and extend their lead before the half. But no, we going to blitz and we going to play man. We going to play man. Really? I know I do not like Steve Wilks. And y'all probably saying, well, you was 5-0 with him early on in the season. I didn't like the defense then. I didn't like it then because bottom line, they played one half of football up until last night. Last night, they didn't play any halves of football. But up until then, they played one half of football. They either come out soft in the first half and then tighten up later so we can get the win, or they come out on fire and then slack off late in the game and make a game closer than it should be. They have yet to play an entire game of, you know what? I'm sorry. Let me back up. They did play a full game of football. The defense did against Dallas. That was it. But we played 7 weeks now. 1 week out of 7 is not enough. So what's really irritating me is the people, oh, Brock Purdy did it. And I don't understand the hate for Brock Purdy. I don't. Because he's still an upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo. Should he have thrown those interceptions? Absolutely not. He gets some fault for that because he floated that out there, trying to over anticipate the throws. But you're not finna sit up here and talk about, oh, Brock Purdy lost that game. No, the defense lost that game. Meanwhile, let's talk about the person that we all love as 49ers fans, Christian McCaffrey, who fumbled the ball inside the red zone. That was at least 3 points.
Fumble.
He lost that ball. That was at least 3 points. And if he doesn't fumble, that's possibly a touchdown because let's be really honest, the Vikings really couldn't stop the 49ers offense. And they say, oh, he had a terrible game. No, he had a terrible fourth quarter, talking about Brock Purdy. Because up until that point, Brock Purdy was pretty much on money for the first 3 quarters. He was money for 3 quarters of that game. The fourth quarter, it fell apart. So let's back up off of blaming Brock Purdy for the whole thing. Is he culpable in it? Yes. But is it all his fault? No, sir. No, sir. No, ma'am. You're a fool if you believe that. You don't know football. I need everybody to go and look up the term complementary football. I need y'all to go look that up. And then you'll understand where I'm coming from. And then maybe not, because I don't have the time or the crayons to explain it because we getting close to the end of time. But the bottom line is, and I'm being 100% on this, if he does not, and I say he, I'm talking about Steve Wilks, does not change what he did or what he is doing, the 49ers will not make the playoffs. And that's a bold statement, but I'm here for it. Because when you need your defense to bow up because your offense is injured, your defense has got to play better than that. And if he does not make the necessary adjustments, which it worries me because old men get set in their ways. You know that term, old men, can't teach old dog new tricks.
Right.
He didn't make adjustments in that game. I don't know if he's going to make adjustments from week to week. He got to show me something. And until then, yes, he's in the doghouse with me. Steve Wilks lost that football game. You made Kirk Cousins look like he was great. And I'm still standing 10 toes down saying Kirk Cousins is an above average quarterback. He is not great.
Thank you.
But we made him look great last night. No running game. They didn't punch us in the mouth. They didn't go come downhill on us. They didn't do that. They aired it out. Why? Because you got the corners out there in man for most of the game. I want to say 83% of the snaps, the corners were we were in man. There was no zone shell behind that blitz. And let's talk about the front seven. You got the highest paid defensive end in the league. Nicholas John Bosa, you not doing your job. I think you've been hanging around your brother Joey. You get the bag and then start coasting into retirement because all that money is guaranteed. You went and got Randy Gregory, who played decent, but 0 sacks. 0 sacks. Javon Hargrave is supposed to be known as an interior pass rusher. 0 sacks. You had to change the scheme. D'Amico Ryans would have changed the scheme by then. We'd have got some pressure on Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins had time to make a sandwich, use a rotary phone to make a long-distance phone call.
Rotary phone?
Before he threw the ball. That's how much time Kirk Cousins had.
Now, let me ask you a question. When he dialed that number on the rotary phone, was he using numbers 9, 8, and 7?
Yeah. Some of y'all don't even know what that is. Some of you young folks like, what's that? Look it up. He was making a long distance call on a rotary phone using one of them old long distance phone cards while making a sandwich. Then threw the ball. That's how much time he had in the pocket. But you want to play man behind that? No, I don't care how good. I'm not even blaming the secondary. I'm blaming the scheme. Nobody can cover for that long.
What kind of sandwich?
Yeah. So that Steve Wilks is to blame for that. Steve Wilks he shares most of the blame. And before I get off my soapbox, Jake Moody got to go. That's the 49ers kicker. He has to go. In 2 games, he's missed 3 kicks. 2 games, he's missed 3 kicks. Robbie Gould is somewhere sitting on his couch laughing Oh, y'all ain't want to pay me? Y'all want to go with this rookie? Y'all wasted the third round on this guy? Okay, bet. I said it before and I'll say it again. Jake Moody is going to cost the Niners some games. He's already cost us one for sure in Cleveland. I'm not going to say he cost us a game in Minnesota, but he was part of that loss. So I'm going to get off my soapbox. Brock Purdy does need to play better. Has he been exposed? Not really. Okay, stop that. Because he still leads the league, and you talk about next gen stats and tight window throws and layered throws. He's is a major upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo. I had some jackhole arguing with me online talking about, well, Jimmy Garoppolo took him to the Super Bowl. You know I hate that argument. Jimmy Garoppolo rolled in the back seat with his headphones on, eating chips. The defense in the running game drove the car to the Super Bowl that year.
What kind of chips?
I don't know. Probably something to make your breath stink. So, does Brock Purdy need to improve? Yes. Does he need to play a full game of football? Yes. Has Brock Purdy been exposed? Is Brock Purdy trash? No, because if you say that, then you the type of person that basically looks at the box scores and the ESPN highlights and try to sound like a doggone expert, and you're not. Okay, watch the actual game. Okay, those last second interceptions, those are really bad. Yes, they were. But last thing, and I'm gonna leave this alone. The comparison, because somebody's like, "Oh, y'all be on Dak Prescott all the time." Oh, what about Brock Purdy? Here's the difference. Dak Prescott puts his team in a bad position when the rest of the team is still playing well. Dallas's defense, and Brandon, you can go with me on this because you're a Cowboys fan. Dallas's defense will be playing well. Everything will be going good. And then Dak Prescott will turn over the ball deep in Dallas territory, forcing the defense to defend a short field. That is on Dak Prescott. Brock Purdy was pressing at the end of the game because the defense gave him nothing to work with. And he's like, oh, I got to do it all by myself. That's the difference. If you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you. I ain't got the time nor the crayons. I'm just saying. I just don't. All right. So moving on. Can we get to my picks now? Because God, last week was a slaughter fest. I got murdered.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is now time for Pando's picks.
It was really bad. It was a lot of upsets this week. And last week, excuse me, that just passed. This is the worst record I've had since I have been a quarter host on this podcast. It was a staggering 4-9.
Ooh,
4-9. But y'all, let's be fair. Did we really think the Pats was gonna beat the Bills?
Nope.
Come on now. You know, there was just some ones like, come on, bro. Did we think that the Bears was gonna beat the Raiders? I mean, both of them suck, but still, you know.
Bears have a bad defense.
Did we think the Broncos was gonna beat the Packers? No.
Not really, no.
Yeah, so it was. Let's be honest, we didn't think the Vikings was gonna beat the 49ers. Hey. So yeah, that's what 4 or 5 games right there. It's like, what the hell? So yeah, so I mean, let's get back to business. Let's get back to winning because that's my first time under 500 ever. All right. So this week, Tampa Bay at the Bills. Okay. I like the Bills in this one. The Tampa Bay Baker Mayfields, they got a good defense, but Josh Allen can't get no worse. He can't get no worse. Okay, he's got to get one of them pull your head out your butt type games, and I like the Bills over Tampa Bay.
I think the Bills gonna bounce back, especially after losing to New England. They're gonna bounce back.
Okay, so you got the Rams at Jerry World against the Cowboys. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I wish there was a way that both teams could lose, but they're in Jerry World. Typically, they get all the calls in Jerry World. That's the first thing. Second thing is Matt Stafford loved throwing interceptions. You just got to catch them. And one thing I can say about Dallas' secondary, they know how to catch. Matt Stafford's probably going to throw at least 2 interceptions in this game. He may throw 4. They may drop 2 of them. Okay. There's no Kyron Williams, who was really doing well for the Rams, but there's no Kyron Williams. But watch out for Tutu Atwell, Cooper Kupp, and Puka Nacua, who right now I feel like is neck and neck for Offensive Rookie of the Year with Jordan Addison.
Yeah.
Puka Nacua came out of nowhere.
If I'm Dallas in this game, you have to pressure Stafford, but you have to be prepared for crossing routes.
They love the shallow crosses to Puka Nacua, and he has the uncanny ability to get first downs and keep the chains moving.
They're gonna have to tackle well too. They're
gonna have to tackle well. If they're playing man, they got to be in the receiver's back pocket the whole time, because man, if they're able to do anything, Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua are very good run after the catch. But that being said, if McCarthy keeps trying to force a run game that isn't there, the offense is going to struggle. Honestly, the Rams, that's how you beat the Rams. I see them twice a year, Carl. Okay.
The only person the
Cowboys, that's how you beat the Rams. You run the ball.
The only person the Rams had to do, the Cowboys had to deal with for the Rams defense is Aaron Donald.
That's run the ball, and Aaron Donald is a shadow of himself. Okay,
and that's the thing. He's a shadow of himself. I expect Dallas to win by probably.
I got 14-point deficit.
Okay, I was saying 10 points. I was trying to be safe and whatever, but
they're at home. They're at home. They're Jerry World. I got Dallas winning this game by about 14 points.
I think, hold on real quick, Carl. The reason why the run game, McCarthy needs to get it together. Pollard is not an A gap, B gap running back. He's a C gap, D gap running back. He needs to give Rico Dowdle the ball more if he's going to run A gap, B gap. I'm not saying Rico Dowdle is a workhorse running back in the mode of a Derrick Henry. No, that's far from it. But I think Rico needs to have 10 to 13 carries, while Tony Pollard needs to have 10 to 13 touches. And I think if they do it that way, it would be you have a better run game. I'm not saying it's going to be fantastic. I'm not saying it's going to be all world or anything like that, but it just needs to be solid enough.
Yeah, you have to come downhill on the Rams. The Rams are soft. I'm gonna be honest with you; they're extremely soft. And if you go out there and bust them in the mouth early in the game, they're gonna fold. And then Matt Stafford gonna start pressing, and that's when you're gonna get you. That's when Stephon Gilmore or Malik Hooker or one of those guys is gonna pull down an interception. So Dallas is gonna get probably 2 turnovers in this game, more than likely. And that's going to be the difference in the game. And also, you definitely want to run the ball more and take the ball out of Dak Prescott's hands. I'm just going to be real with you, okay? Even though they don't have the secondary that they've had in the past, you just don't want the ball in Dak Prescott's hands. Just get out of there with the W and keep pressing. So, yeah, I got Dallas winning that by probably 2 touchdowns. Next up, I have the Vikings at the Packers. Jordan Love. I'm really trying to root for this guy, but because one moment, you know how he flashes?
Yeah.
He flashes, but it's not consistent. Like, you see him make plays, and like, wow, that was a really nice throw. Wow. Then the very next series is like, what the hell was that? That's my issue with Jordan Love, is his lack of consistency. If Jordan Love could ever get some form of consistency, they could be something special. But I like the Vikings beating the Packers, going to Lambeau and beating the Packers. I don't think the Vikings defense is that great. If Jordan Love,
not, but what's going to happen, and I told you what Flores likes to do ever since he became the DC in Minnesota. He likes to blitz, and I don't
loves to blitz. Loves to blitz, and you know how you can beat that? Screens to Aaron Jones.
I understand that. I don't know who the Packers OC is right now, but
it's LaFleur. He's calling the plays. He's calling
Okay,
the
it's still Matt
he's,
LaFleur. Okay, yeah, that's right.
he's calling the play.
But and see, I hear you, but also, Jordan Love has to execute.
Absolutely. It goes down to consistency. And the consistency is not there. He's got to be way more consistent.
Exactly.
If Jordan Love can put together a game for 4 quarters, can they beat the Vikings? Yes. Because Kirk Cousins is going to Kirk Cousins. You
Yeah, he
wait for
will.
it.
He
Because he
will.
tried Kirk Cousins tried to Kirk Cousins against us last week, and it was like we just didn't capitalize. We capitalized early in the game. Like there was some throws and like, ooh, but and usually after big games like that, what usually happens to Kirk Cousins? He comes right back down.
Come
The
back down to
Packers
earth.
can the Packers can capitalize on this. So I like the Vikings winning this, but if you told me that the Packers won, I wouldn't be shocked. Okay.
Exactly.
Uh Atlanta at Tennessee. I don't know what's going on with the Bijan Robinson situation. I'm not going to even comment on it
Until we get more
uh,
information.
until we get more information. A lot of these games could be pick'em games, but I like Atlanta going to Tennessee and beating the Titans. I do.
Yeah, Tennessee just lost safety Kevin Byard
Yes,
to the Eagles. That hurts.
and that ooh, boy,
They don't know who they have starting at quarterback between Malik Willis and the rookie Kyle Bowler Jr. Derrick Henry's still a good running back. They have a good rookie at running back. Todd Spears, I think is his name. But other than that, it's not really much to jump up and down about in Tennessee right now. Defense is probably still solid, but it's not like fantastic or all world or anything.
the word around the campfire is that Tennessee is on the selling block for
Yeah,
the
and
trade
we go.
deadline. There's some players they've already shipped off Kevin Byard, so that's evidence right there.
We'll see
So
what happens with Derrick Henry between now and next Tuesday for the NFL trade deadline.
mhm. So we'll see, but honestly, we gotta find out what's going on with Tennessee. But right now, Tennessee is looking like they're sellers. So I like Atlanta winning this game. Okay, next game. Saints go to Indianapolis to Lucas Oil Stadium to take on the
Mm.
Colts. I think Gardner Minshew can do enough to win that game. It'll be a close one. It'll be
It's
ugly.
definitely gonna be a close game. But let me ask you a question. I know the loss is tough, and I'm sure they feel like they could have won that game. Do they not? They didn't win, but they still racked up a lot of points. Do they come back down to earth to a degree?
The Colts,
Yeah.
the Saints have a good defense. I don't see them putting up 30 plus points against the Saints.
Yeah,
However, I
but they weren't
see
supposed to put up 30 plus points against the Browns either.
that's my point. So I can still see them doing that, and that's why I picked the Colts to win this game. And the Saints are in disarray right now. You got the whole Chris Olave thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
The Saints fans are making voodoo dolls out of Derek Carr and they stabbing it. So yeah. I was talking to a Saints fan today I work with, and he was like, yeah, the offense is stagnant. And I made a TikTok about that, and I said, well, Saints fans, I said, y'all a little bit spoiled. I said, y'all had Drew Brees throwing the football, and you had Sean Payton calling the plays. You no longer have that. And
And guess what?
you got used to that.
And,
Because
and
even though they didn't get back to another Super Bowl, they were always in the conversation as long as number 9 was there and Sean Payton was calling plays. They were
and, guess,
always in the conversation.
and guess who else was spoiled?
Oh yeah,
We were both
I
spoiled by
learned
the
to lower
quarterback
my
at one time.
expectations. I've learned to lower my expectations on what's going on with but yeah, Saints got a taste of what like Niners and Cowboys fans. We used to having good quarterbacks, but yeah, I like the Colts winning this. The Saints was supposed to win this division, but it's really looking shaky right now. That AFC South is weird. NFC South, excuse me, is weird.
Yes, it is.
Okay, the Patriots travel down to Miami to play the Dolphins. The Dolphins will bounce back, and it's going to be South Beach Track and Field on the Patriots. Congratulations to Bill Belichick for winning your 300th win, but you about to get this L this week.
Congratulations, Bill Belichick. 300
Okay.
wins.
The Dolphins, Mike McDaniel is meticulous, and he's even more meticulous than his mentor, Kyle Shanahan. When it comes to righting the wrongs and fixing righting the ship. So I look for the Dolphins to be firing on all cylinders, and it's just too much speed for the Patriots to even deal with. They're going to take advantage of them on the edges. They're going to take advantage of that secondary that's kind of been dealing with injuries, and I think Tua's going to have he might have a 300-yard game. He could very well. Or your running back by committee in Miami is going to go off, one or the other. Or worst case scenario could be all of it.
Yep.
Next, we have the MetLife Bowl. We have the Jets at the Giants. I mean, the Jets are at home, but they're visiting team. It's kind of weird, but
yeah,
that's a topic that we didn't get to, and we'll have to cover it another time. The fact that Tyrod Taylor is starting for the Giants gives them their best chance to be competitive.
Yeah, we'll talk about that soon.
That we forgot to add that to the show, but Tyrod Taylor gives the Giants a whole new lease on life because he makes them more competitive than Daniel Jones ever could. And that doesn't mean they're going to be world beaters, but will they be in some games because Tyrod Taylor's a quarterback? Absolutely. That being said, I still like the Jets defense in a low-scoring game. I like Jets. So give me the Jets over the Giants.
Okay.
Next up, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh, my God. How can I forget about them? They're in that top tier in the AFC, and they're playing the Steelers. Steelers fans right now want to unalive their offensive coordinator.
Yep.
And the Jags right now seem to be firing on all cylinders. The only thing that the Steelers have going for them right now is that their defense is still pretty good. And then every now and then, the offense makes a splash play. It seems like it's almost by accident when they make a good play on offense. So I like the Jaguars over the Steelers, but the Steelers are going to keep it close because that defense is still pretty good.
Yep.
Next up, the Eagles travel to Washington to play the Commanders. This is my Stone Cold Lock of the Week.
Thank you.
Okay. Cue my music. I got the Eagles over the Commanders. The Eagles aren't going to slow down for a minute. Sam Howell holds the ball too long. The offensive line is not good. Hassan Reddick is going to lose his mind. Like, if they're not careful, Sam Howell's going to get hurt.
Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you something right now. Hassan Reddick and Jalen Carter are going to race to the quarterback.
Meet me at the quarterback.
Yep, they're gonna race each other.
And go.
Yep, yep. And as soon as Sam Howell says go, it's gonna be like the person that is at a track me holding a gun up and they're talking about some pow, and they just gone. That's exactly what it's gonna be.
I can't argue with that. That's. I just don't. I don't see how the Commanders can win this game.
Between Hassan Reddick and Jalen Carter, I probably have them down combined for 4 to 5 sacks.
That many?
Combined between Reddick and Carter, 4 to 5 sacks.
So you're saying 4 to 5 team sacks, maybe more than 5 team sacks?
Probably as a team, because Reddick is going to probably get 2. Okay, maybe not 5, maybe 4. Carter,
the only thing I can
probably do 2.
The only thing I have
probably do 2.
The only thing I have in favor of the Commanders is that Eric Bieniemy knows how to beat the Eagles. He just doesn't have the horses. Now, he has a good receiving core. The problem is he doesn't have the offensive line.
Who's the starting running back?
He has 2 running backs. He's got Gibson and Robinson.
I understand that, but from what I understand, Gibson fumbles more. So
Robinson's the more reliable one.
Who?
Robinson's the more reliable one.
So how come they don't use Robinson more?
I don't know. I got him on one of my fantasy teams. He
I
does
do
pretty
too, and
good.
I'm like,
He does pretty good for me.
he does pretty good for you. Well,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I'm not saying it because Robinson,
They're
like
gonna have to keep. They're gonna have to keep Jalen Hurts off the field. So they're gonna have to do some. And yes, Jalen does throw picks, but who's gonna catch him? Um, but they're gonna have to keep Jalen Hurts. They're going to
oh,
keep Jalen Hurts off the field. They got to
and
keep him off the
they
field. They
gonna
got to
they
play ball control.
they gonna have your boy against AJ Brown again.
Ooh, AJ Brown versus
The
God,
rookie
I forgot his name, but yeah,
Forbes,
Forbes. Yeah, he's gonna
the
get
man
bullied.
Forbes
I'd have AJ Brown running slants and comeback
hitches
routes and
hitches.
stuff. Yeah, just to get him the ball and just use his physicality.
Man, shoot, he about to run through him like a 18 wheeler coming
Hmm.
downhill.
So yeah, I just that's my stone cold lock. I got the Eagles winning against the Commanders. Next up, the Texans travel to Carolina to play the Panthers. The Texans are starting to really get it together. CJ Stroud's looking decent. They're coming off a bye week. I like the Texans over the Panthers. Um,
Agreed.
the Browns are at the Seahawks. Um, so here's the deal. Right now, the Seattle Seahawks are playing the best football in the NFC West. Does that mean they'll win the division? No, that's not what I'm saying. But at this point in the season, the Seahawks are playing the best football in that division, and they're at home. Now,
Who's
Miles
getting
Garrett
out?
is going to have to put this team on his
On
back
his back
again.
again. Because
Okay.
hey, look, PJ Walker, dude, you're gonna be in that loud stadium. You talking about top 3 loudest stadium in the league?
Now, Nwosu, the linebacker for the Seahawks, is out for the year. So that's going to help him a little bit. But we're going to really see how good Cleveland's defense really is against this Seahawks attack. And yeah, we know Watson is hurt. That's
Yeah,
why we said PJ Walker. We were talking about PJ
PJ
Walker.
Walker. Yeah, PJ Walker.
But we don't really know. Honestly, we really don't know what's going on with Watson because uh, you know,
I
he
just
cleared concussion protocol during
I
that
saw
game.
something earlier.
And
Give
the
me a
last I
second.
heard, the coach said he was the starter, going to be the starter in Seattle. But this is not Houston, Deshaun Watson. This is Cleveland, Deshaun Watson. So I like the Seahawks winning that game.
Hey, real quick. Hold on. No, keep going, keep going. I'll get back to you on Watson at the end of the show.
Okay, so Kansas City versus the Broncos. Give me the Kansas City Taylor Swifts against the Broncos. I think they gonna pretty much walk away with that game. Ravens at the Cardinals. Again, if the trend continues, I don't see the Ravens losing too many games if he plays like he did. Now the Cardinals are scrappy. They don't do enough to win, but they will fight you to the last man.
Yes, they will. Yes,
They
they
like
will.
the Greeks at Thermopylae. They gonna fight you to the last man. You may not win the battle, but they gonna take some folk with them. So, but Ravens, make sure that your training staff is ready to go because that's how the Cardinals play. They play hard, but they're not going to win this game. The Ravens are going to win this game.
Okay.
The Bengals, I might have that wrong. Hold on. The Bengals are not. San Francisco's going to the Bengals, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. I want to make sure I got that right. Okay, the Bengals are going to Santa Clara to play the 49ers. Okay. I thought they were going to Cincinnati, but I still had the Bengals winning this game until Steve Wilkes shows me something different. I have zero faith in my team. Zero. Okay? Because I don't care. Brock Purdy could come back and throw for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. Christian McCaffrey could rush for 50,000 yards and catch for 50,000 if Steve Wilkes does not make adjustments because you cannot go out there trying to blitz Joe Burrow with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd trying to play man with those guys.
Man coverage.
You cannot do that. It's going to be an ugly game if Steve Wilkes does that. It's going to be bad. Really bad. Really bad. Deebo Samuel's not playing in this game. He won't be back till after the bye week. We don't know if Trent Williams is going to play. Who's going to block Trey Hendrickson? Jalen Moore, even though he played admirably against the Vikings, no. I don't have the Niners winning this game. If they pull it off, I'm going to be happy as a fan. But as an analyst, I don't see it because Steve Wilkes is setting his ways, doing the same thing, makes no adjustments. And then there's a lot of injuries with the 49ers. I see the Niners dropping their third game in a row before the bye week and maybe righting the ship afterwards. But quite possibly the 49ers could drop their third game in a row. Bears going to the Chargers. I like the Chargers. I think the Bears went out there and they did something foul to the Raiders, but that's not saying a whole lot. That's really not saying a lot.
Nope.
Okay, that's like me going into a kindergarten room and punching every kid and then putting a belt around my waist talking about I'm the champ. You know, that's not saying much. So yeah, I like the Chargers over the over the Bears, excuse me. And then lastly, we have the Monday night game, I believe. That's the Lions. The Raiders going to Detroit. I feel sorry for the Raiders because Detroit is going to bounce back like nobody bounced back before.
Hold on. You got the Lions and the Raiders on Monday Night Football?
If I'm not mistaken, let me check my schedule. Check your
that's
local listings. Yes, it's the Monday night game.
And then on Sunday night, you got who on Sunday Night Football?
The Bears at the Chargers. We need to start flexing these games, don't we? These games need to start flexing already.
What
these games doing? What am I doing? That's the schedule, man. They didn't. This is bad. This is really, really bad.
Nobody's gonna care about Sunday night, Monday Night Football.
I'm looking at this whole schedule for this week, and there's not a game that's really exciting.
Hold on. I know, and I know you mentioned the games and stuff. Give me a second, man, because maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. If it is me, I'll take the flack. But all right, let's see here. Okay, Texans, Panthers, Rams, Cowboys, whatever, Vikings, Packers, Bills, Saints, Colts. Okay, Patriots, Dolphins, Jets, Giants, Jags, Steelers. Even though the Steelers are 4-2, it just don't feel like a 4-2 team. Falcons 4-3, don't feel like 4-3. Eagles, Commanders. Browns, Seahawks might be the best game to watch. Maybe. San Francisco, Seattle. Cincinnati.
And the crazy thing is, like, I don't see a game that they can flex.
The only game that's probably worth, like, the only game I would have had on Monday Night Football would have been San Francisco and Cincinnati.
And it's not that type of game anymore because of how bad San Francisco is playing right now.
Yeah, but I still would have had them on Monday Night Football. As far as Sunday Night Football, I guess just based off of records, Cleveland and Seattle would have been good. Pittsburgh and Jackson. This is just based off records, not performance, but just off of records. Those would have been it. But other than that, man, it's almost like it's a big yawn on TV this weekend. I'm not going to be running to my TV set this weekend.
A lot of these games are not exciting.
I tell you what, I had a TV on, but I know I'll be doing some other stuff because that's not it. Yeah, that's not it. It's not.
So
recap. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not a good week because even the games that might be closely contested with teams that we don't see even making the playoffs. Like Jets and Giants, like That's a closely contested game, but like, come on, man. Let's be real.
Man, that's a big yawn.
Yeah. So I mean, but last game, Monday Night Football, it's the Las Vegas Raiders and the Detroit Lions, and the Lions are gonna do what they do. I have the Lions winning this game easily, going away. It's almost a stone cold lock. If you lose to the Bears, Raiders, let me get close to the camera. If you lose to the Bears, Raiders,
You mean the Lions? If the Lions
no,
lose to the
no, no,
Raiders.
no, no. They just lost to the Bears.
Oh,
If you lose to the Bears, God help you when you see the Lions. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm serious. Like, if I'm gonna be a professional boxer and I get beat up by a fifth grader walking out my house, and then I got to go fight Mike Tyson in his prime. Like, no.
well,
It's not going. It's not going to
Oh.
end well. It's not going to end well. And then the Lions are the type of team, and they're going to show it. And this is my prediction: is the Lions are going to show that they're that type of team where mentally they're like, okay, we took a really bad loss last week. Somebody got to die. That's how they gonna come out the locker room. They're at home. They just came off a bad loss, and they're playing a weak team. We're gonna find out what the Lions really are, and I strongly believe that they are who they say they are.
Oh yeah, I agree too. I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, I see them bouncing back. They're way more mentally resilient. So, but that's my pick. So to go over again, Bills over Bucks, Cowboys over Rams, Vikings over Packers, Atlanta over Tennessee, Colts over Saints, Dolphins over Patriots, Jets over Giants, Jaguars over Steelers, Eagles over Commanders, Stone Cold Lock of the Week, Texans over Panthers, Seahawks over Browns, Chiefs over Broncos, Ravens over Cardinals, Bengals over Niners, Chargers over Bears, Lions over Raiders. Facts over feelings.
All right, there you go. All right, so
Dumb people make my head hurt.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, there goes another episode of Just a Fan Podcast. We're currently live on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, IG, and TikTok. 2 new videos up on TikTok. Check them out. One done by Eric, one done by me. You can also listen to us on Google, Apple, and Spotify podcasts. I'm your quarter host of the show, the Wildcat quarterback that runs this thing. Coach Williams, the football mind. That direction, panel 316, who says dumb people make his head hurt. Eric, take some Advil, go to
I
bed.
stay with some Advil. I got a big old jar of Advil because somebody says something
Now, let me ask you a question.
dumb, it make your head hurt.
Do you have the old-fashioned brown pills or you got the liquid gels?
I got the liquid gel. They work.
Yes, sir.
They work fast.
Yes, sir. The liquid gels, boy, that stuff kicking fast and fast.
Yeah, the liquid gels got to work fast because I gotta keep them with me because when I read comments on sports pages about certain things, I see stuff that's so dumb it make my head hurt.
Look, that's why I don't read every single thing, man. I see if I see a title and I don't want to deal with it, I keep it moving.
Yeah.
So just like how I told you, don't be always arguing against everybody. You ain't gotta read every single thing in the world. Trust me.
No,
I have learned how to filter a lot of stuff.
Nah, I don't argue with everybody. I'm not gonna do that.
I've learned how to filter a whole lot of stuff. Trust
me. You don't argue with fools. You don't argue with fools because they'll drag you down to their level and beat you with their experience.
Yeah, right. That is one thing they all experience that. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, good night. Peace out.